basically is that Cell went. I think wrong. Cell went relative to a stronger Gohan. Deborah went relative to a weaker Gohan. Weaker Gohan, obviously, a stronger Gohan. That Cell fought would be stronger. Therefore, Cell would be stronger. Simple as that.
Okay. So Cell goes relative with a stronger go. No, I don't think he went relative. I think I would just deny that condition.
Nah, I
Because
mean, okay,
we can just argue
I,
the plausibility and probability.
okay, sure. I guess
Okay.
in this game.
So when you say okay, so obviously you're basing your abduction or your abductive reasoning off of some prior statement about Gohan. So which state?
No, because
I mean,
they
at which
literally
point
says
in
a
time do you think the
relative.
statement was in context towards? Because if you
It
can't
was.
point to me, if you can't wait, hold on. Because you
You
can't point to
said.
me one specifically or provide a probable or plausible
You
conclusion
said
that's
what?
stronger
Okay,
than.
what are you asking? What are you asking me
Okay,
to
so
expect to see
obviously,
upon?
yeah, okay. I know the dialogue tree. You're obviously saying that there's some statement of Gohan being weaker than us. Otherwise it's unjustified, right? Or are you just like making some type of implication from that?
No, I'm saying they literally say he's weaker.
Okay, so what? Okay, so at what point?
Okay. What do you mean? What point?
At what point? Like they're saying he's weaker than Gohan at
No,
when he was in Super Saiyan 2, when he was
they're saying
fighting
that
Cell.
Cell is relative or equivalent or rather
Okay,
higher in relativity to
okay,
Gohan. So
okay,
that's how
okay.
so
So
they're
wait,
saying he's
hold on,
stronger.
hold on.
I'm
Let's
explaining the
clarify.
argument.
Yeah, no, I want to know. I want before you do that. I want the direct statement. And if they say that they're
Okay.
relative or he's on the level of
I'm finna
Cell.
get the statement right now.
Yeah,
So you can
okay,
just
okay.
keep
Because
the
the
point off.
argument will change depending on what specifically said.
Okay. This shit. Let me find it. I think it's my recently deleted. Okay. Is this scan? Where's my anime? Let me find this shit. Gotta stop deleting my shit. Get all these scans. And I think I got. Let me get the last one.
yeah, that's me.
Ironic. Pissy breath, bitch.
Your breath smell like dog piss, bro.
So shut up, Pissy McGee.
Dude, they got a whole server of the Braun Blazer.
Oh, roll out, bro. Nigga, you see anything and you do that.
Nigga blasting his hot ass breath, bro.
Like, fuck, like,
That shit was
burning
funny, son.
shit.
It's just like you, bro. Just like you, bro. You be doing
Yeah,
some shit.
your breath is hot, nigga. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, nice stutter.
Shut up, pissy breath.
Can we be nice, please?
Let me
Get the
find
fuck
this
out of
scan.
here.
Okay.
Where to scan that? Where to scan that? Where to scan that? Bro, I just had this shit in my hand. Where is that?
In Japan, apologize to Wagyu now.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you say it in chat.
Bro, I had this shit in my hand. I just
Yo,
ordered
you
it.
stink. I smell y'all.
Oh my god.
Bro, Careless, bro. He said he smells you, bro.
It's Interlot
Wow.
level
I was
2.
talking
Then
to
how the
all
hell
y'all,
do
but
I
I
do that?
guess
Yo, Careless, bro. That nigga smell you from there, bro.
I remember this nigga wound.
Booty, booty.
That shit had me crying, bro. Shit, top, bro.
It's the world's greatest, bro.
Alright, so I
the
the scan is in the main chat, by the way. Scan's in the main
Okay.
chat. It's loading.
Right. Let me know when it's in there.
So it says Cell returned to Earth with a power beyond his perfect form, a power equal or even greater to that then possessed by Gohan. Obviously, the Gohan they're indexed to is the Gohan that first went Super Saiyan 2.
Oh, okay. So I don't see why that's the case.
Okay, can you give an argument?
Okay. Well, you said it was obvious. I just said I don't see why it's the case.
No, okay.
But I can read the scan and I can read the scan and give some type of plausible conclusion to a different
it
type.
will be expected given what the scan is saying because it literally says right before that statement, having recovered after blowing up temporally speaking, they're just saying that right when Cell blew himself up, and when Gohan already beat Cell, Cell resorted to blowing himself up in retaliation to Gohan beating him. So it would have to be indexed to that Gohan that first beat Cell, or I guess beat Cell the first time.
No, you said when he first went Super Saiyan 2. But the statement, all it says there is Cell returns to Earth with power beyond his perfect form, a power equal to or even greater than that possessed by Gohan.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 before that. So why
Yeah,
would it
bro,
be?
that's trivial. No, you're not getting my point.
That's not trivial because this is indexed to like
No,
another.
it's trivially what I mean by trivial. I'm just saying trivially true because that's kind of that's the whole point of my position.
Wait, hold on, wait.
The whole wait, chill, bro.
Now I have
Bro,
more
you
questions.
can't wait, chill. I
Wait,
wasn't
chill,
done.
chill. I'm just
Bro,
doing.
I wasn't done with what I was saying though. Like you can't try to cut me off. I was responding to what you said.
I mean, I'm asking questions. I feel like
you can ask questions after I'm done with the argument. You didn't even hear my argument.
Why are you giving an argument when I ask you questions? I'm not asking for
yeah,
arguments.
you asked me a question. I'm responding to what you said.
No, you don't need to give an argument every single time somebody
Bro,
asks you.
okay. Is this how I
didn't
do
ask
it,
for an
bro?
argument.
Let me just respond to what you said, bro.
Okay, what did I say?
Normally, an argument is just
what did I say? Hold on,
lines or lines of reasoning.
What did I say?
Conclusion.
Obviously,
You
an argument is line of reasoning.
you literally just asked me why is that obvious and why would that be the case? I'm giving the argument.
Yes, okay. Then I got into asking you what I was going to ask you. Why is it expected semantically that him returning out of power equal or even greater?
Okay.
Like
we
Gohan.
can get into that. The semantic. Okay, listen. The semantics isn't the sole focus of the point. It's the expected.
You're saying that's expected.
Wait, bro, chill out, bro. I wasn't done. I'm responding to what you said.
Is it more so narrative than
listen? Stop. I'm just missing that. Stop trying to move the goalpost. Be quiet, bro. Listen.
I'm not moving a goalpost.
You literally are, bro. Let me respond and justify the first burden you try placing on me, bro.
Okay.
Chill out. So the point isn't solely or big based upon semantics. We actually do see an actual clarification or showing of what I'm talking about. That's why I said they're making some sort of temporal claim in the statement because right before that statement, they say having recovered after blowing himself up. Priorly to him returning back to Earth and becoming super perfect Cell, priorly to that, he went against it. Wait, chill out, bro. Wait, stop, bro.
Going on and on and on.
Stop.
Irrelevant. It's called
Stop, bro. I'm dismissing. Stop.
You're not going to dismiss it. I'm still not saying analytically this implies.
Okay, why is that true? Stop.
Stop.
I'm not done.
It seems to be in reference to a Gohan who actually.
Let me talk. Let me talk.
Right, who's probably weaker.
Bro, let me talk, bro. I wasn't done.
In a new form.
Let me. I don't know what you.
Okay. I need.
Oh, wait, and I'm also dismissing that because I was not done speaking. Stop cutting me off.
Gohan at that state. That's all I need. You were going on to something.
I hate when niggas do like we can't have linear discussions if you cut me off.
Okay. I'll give you some time.
Okay, bro.
Do not go
Chill
on
out, bro.
something irrelevant. Please do not
bro.
go on something irrelevant.
Chill out, bro. You can think it's irrelevant after I'm done giving the argument. I'm not done, so let me finish.
And then I also want to know what you mean by the type of temporal
interpretation of semantics is irrelevant. It's performed. The semantics point is relevant if in the actual verse itself they show what they mean indirectly correlate or correspond to my interpretation. My point is that given the semantics and given what's shown in the verse,
it would have to use semantics.
Shut up.
You can say that they can change what's shown
in the verse. No, okay, I'm not doing it anymore. Now I'm gonna just start talking over you. Given what's shown in the verse, we see Cell blowing himself up priorly, or given the priors in the scan, or not even the priors. We literally just see Gohan in the
SSJ2. So he got his
Stop the fuck up.
Which makes sense for why
he's the same video or in the same scan or in the same event. We see Gohan in Super Saiyan 2, meaning that Cell, when he first went against Gohan in Super Saiyan 2, blew himself up. That's correspondent to the scan. That's correspondent to the scan because given what the scan is saying in the semantics, it specifically says having recovered after blowing himself up, fell into otherworld, blew himself up, and regenerated himself. What that would simply mean is that the statement and the temporal truth it's making in the same statement is true, not only given to us via the priors in the scan and via the priors in the video. Simple as that. So it would be expected that they're talking about Gohan when Gohan first went S2.
So now, when we get into
Simple as that.
the fight between
Stop
Deborah,
trying
we
to come over me.
still
Stop trying
have
to
an
be
ambiguous
disingenuous.
statement
Let me
of
give an
him
argument,
being
bro.
weaker or stronger than X person, which is just going to be Gohan. I'm going to simplify things down to
What
you. But
are you talking about?
we don't understand the context of the direct statement. I can just infer any type of probable or plausible
Okay,
conclusion.
obviously, I'm saying those interpretations are less likely given to us via the priors. Our list the
Well,
priors.
I've
I
already
told you,
explained
Cell
how
literally
what you're
blows
saying is going to
himself
be
up in the
pausing and
same video. You're not reading the video. You're not watching the video. You're giving
wait,
a
you're not
different interpretation
why
of
the
it.
type of argument.
Given what the statement is saying, Cell does indeed return back stronger. It's more likely due to the fact that Gohan struggles against that super perfect Cell later on in the fight.
As equal to his state. I gave motivation for him not being equal to the prior
What
state.
was the motivation?
The face
What
of
was the motivation?
scars, etc. And then the first.
Why is the motivation true?
Why is
What?
the motivation true?
Okay, where's
What does
the
it mean
evidence
for the
behind the motivation?
motivation to be true? Why does this? Oh,
Why is
because
it
these are
true?
things.
Why is the motivation true?
What do you mean? Why is the motivation true? What does that mean there?
Okay, what makes me believe anything you said maps onto reality, given what Dragon Ball is?
Yeah. Sweat and stuff like that indicates that people are fatigued.
Okay, what are you? Okay, where is Sweat
Obvious.
missing in either scan? What are you talking about?
We see
How
the
does that
scan. We
attack
see the
my
scan,
point?
but Gohan. Yeah, so I can make a probable, plausible conclusion from that. We also see blood on his
Okay,
forehead.
where are you making a
We also
probable
see that he
conclusion
had
off
damage
of?
before the fight. He was getting damaged. So
Where are you making it
as
off of?
time goes on, due to the
Where
fact
are
that
you making it
later
off of?
damage to his wounds could just be
Where?
getting worse,
Okay,
which is also
interpretation index to.
going down
I'm
later on.
questioning the
Therefore,
interpretation.
I would
Why is
win
it a relevant interpretation? What is the interpretation index to?
plausibility of my hypothesis.
Okay, what's in question is if those priors or plausibility reaches anything in
So
a relevant
all it takes for the
what's in question is whether or not it's connected to the scan.
For something to be justified, or my arguments to be justified, is if it warrants the type of conclusion. Now,
Okay, you're
already
presupposing
does suggest the type of conclusion because it's already been associated with events where the characters were fatigued. Like, for example, Goku versus Cell in the prior fight. We see the scratch marks, we see blood. We also see that sweat has been involved when people are training. They get tired. They're working themselves out. It's a common thing.
Why does that mean he's fatigued?
Oh, why does that mean fatigue?
You do realize that cells can regenerate, right?
It's indicative of it.
Cells can regenerate, and nothing that Goku was throwing at him actually hurt a meaningful way. Yes, we can grant Cell. Listen, stop. I'm trying to reason with you. Yes, we can grant Goku some type of damage. It doesn't mean the damage was. It doesn't mean the damage was that significant enough to fatigue the character. That's why he then beat Goku. Goku said that he can let his son handle the fight. It does not mean that Goku himself thinks he could have Cell or was beating Cell. Doesn't mean anything.
I'm going to need you to explain why.
Okay, I'm
saying that's more.
Listen, I want you to give a relevant conclusion. Okay, and I also want you to explain.
Right, so I would just think that your arguments are not going to be justified under subjective Bayesian model.
Giving an actual argument. You are
I definitely did. Yeah, I supported the conclusion by
argument. You did not have an argument at all.
Model works.
You did not give an argument at all.
Distribution and how you
explain why. Okay, explain what did you use to make the argument true.
Without giving external motivation to that given type of proposition or claim.
Okay, again, we're back to square one. What is the motivation? What is the motivation for the premise?
Which you failed to give.
Where is the motivation?
All right, let me stop talking like one of those fucking cinder people. Do you want to conclude?
Oh my god. Okay. Again, I'm gonna ask you one last time.
Conclude on this
Where's the motivation? Why does it make a relevant conclusion? Additionally, what priors are you calling into question? I also question why does sweating mean you are fatigued? Again, what scan or video are you referencing to where the sweat happens? Again, why mean you are fatigued? You have two burdens on the table. What's in question is whether or not sweat means you're fatigued.
For all the type of all the hypothesis that I've consistency in Super, Dragon Ball. Of the type of things that lower physical capability going to be consistent. For example, getting damage throughout the fight and to perform at a lower rate. For example, Goku Super Saiyan.
Okay. Then Goku, if Cell is a part of that data set, why would Cell be a part of that set if he can fucking regenerate?
It's just
why would he be a part of that data set?
Well, it's definitely possible.
Especially
my hypothesis has
really just wait.
It's just So
especially Goku is just blatantly weaker than Cell.
It
If
leads
Cell
to
is bro,
why
stop.
it's always there
If
when
Cell
is there
stronger than
the
Goku,
type of thing that
why
motivates the type of conclusion and justifies it, which makes that type of hypothesis warranted. It makes you make commitments. Now you've already made the type of commitments to
because
the
your
given
set is only
the type of arguments that I
specific
had.
of
Therefore, the
individuals.
type of
It does
arguments that I
not
gave
that
you
set within
justified
transform the Dragon Ball.
it is
What's
wrong.
in question is if that set's applicability is
So what's in question is
Dragon
if it's
Ball, or it
justified
can be applied to
it's
Dragon
a hypothesis.
Ball. Okay, how are you justifying the hypothesis?
Okay, so what
You're
makes
just
the
spamming out random things, but
argument
you're not
justified?
proving your
What
point.
makes the argument justified is a multiple set of features, right? Empirical computation, analytics, and then given the
Okay,
fact that
what
given
empirical
the type
data
of
set
data
are you using
now.
argument
Okay,
that
yeah, okay.
establishes
So
a
given the fact
relevant
that
conclusion? You're not
you
doing
would have to
that.
have a you'd have to
You're
have
not doing that, bro.
you have to have an argument to suggest
What
hypothesis.
sets are you mentioning an argument that establishes a
For
relevant?
example, you could be building
You're not getting that.
building on somebody who's like committed a murder. You would look for different puzzle pieces that are indicative of that particular hypothesis.
Okay, that is irrelevant. What's in question is whether or not those puzzle pieces exist indexed to Dragon Ball. So
right?
again,
So
do we
what
actually
I'm
have
saying here
a model
is
of
that you want
information that's
autonomy
corresponding
hypothesis is collapsing in multiple
Dragon
ways.
Ball
You lack out
abides
on
by? Because
probability,
it doesn't
and then
matter
you're
what
confused on the
example or what
probabilistic
type of analogy you try to make.
possibility
I can
distribution.
simply just affirm
Nor
that
have
Dragon
you
Ball doesn't have to
justified,
be
nor have
subject to
you
that same
justified why
set
you're arguing.
because one, either A, the characters are not fatigued and do not experience a relevant fatigue in the sense where they would just lose all their powers. Because my whole point is that Goku was already weaker than Cell.
That doesn't really attack the
Stop. If
hypothesis.
Goku was already weaker than Cell, that would mean that whatever the
Jesus.
fuck Goku's doing against Cell was irrelevant.